Lifespan perspective on development. Lifespan means the duration of life, or it is the length of time for which a person lives. The lifespan perspective is defined as using multiple frameworks for what? To determine the human development. The lifespan perspective is defined as the human development determined by multiple aspects and frameworks. By aspects, we are talking about all the mishmash that goes with life. It can be from school, socioeconomic status, genetics, and everything else. So, aspect means all these things. And with framework, what we mean is how we understand the different aspect. That is framework. The aspects are like the building blocks and frameworks are how we put them together. For example, if we are dealing with aspects like genetics, DNA, cellular growth, etc., then our framework is of internal mechanism. So that is the aspect and the framework. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe the channel. German psychologist Paul Batz. He is a leading expert on lifespan development and aging. He developed one of the approaches to study the development, and it is called the lifespan perspective. This approach is based on several key principles. So, the German psychologist Paul Batz developed the lifespan perspective and which has several key principles. And these are the key principles. Development is lifelong. That is, it occurs across one's entire life. Then, development is multidimensional. That means it involves the dynamic interaction of factors like physical, emotional, and psychosocial development. So, it is multidimensional. Then, development is multidirectional and it results in gains and losses throughout the life. Then, development is multidisciplinary. It involves different disciplines. Then, development is plastic. It means the characteristics of the human being can be changed. It can be easily shaped or molded. Then, development is influenced by the contextual and socio-cultural influences. Each of the key principles we can see in detail. Development is lifelong. The lifelong development means that development is not completed in infancy or childhood or at any specific age. It encompasses the entire lifespan, that is from the conception till death. The study of development traditionally focused almost on the changes occurring from the conception to adolescence. That is, earlier time, the focus of the study was till adolescence, because it was believed that after adolescence, there is no developmental change occur. Then, the focus of the study has changed. The current view reflects the possibility that specific changes in development can occur later in life, not just till the adolescence or not till any younger age, but the development can occur in any age in later life. The early events of one's childhood can be transformed by later events in one's life. This belief clearly emphasizes that all the stages of lifespan, It contributes to the regulation of the nature of human development. So, our lifespan, that is from the conception till the death, each and every stage contribute to the human development. It regulates the human development. Many diverse patterns of change, such as the direction, timing, and order, can vary among individuals. Changes will happen, but the direction or the timing or the order will be different in different individuals and affect the ways in which they develop. The individuals move through life, they are faced with many challenges. Several opportunities will come and the situations will change. All these things impact their development. So, in our life, every stage will contribute to the development, and throughout our life, what all things happen, it can be challenges, it can be opportunities, or the situation may change. All these things impact our development. In childhood, we learn to talk or ride a bike. So we learn things while we are a child. The learning happens even as an adult. For example, we learn how to use a smartphone or learn how to cook a new dish. So what we learn, what changes it will make in our life, that depends on each individual. And this learning, lifelong learning, it happens on a daily basis. It can be through socialization, it can be through trial and error method, or it can be self-initiated. So this is the first key principle of the lifespan perspective, that is, development is lifelong. Development is multidimensional. A complex interplay of factors influence the development across the lifespan, including various dimensions like the biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional changes. A dynamic interaction of these factors is what influences an individual's development. So, these three changes, the changes happening in the biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional areas, it will contribute towards the development of the individual. For example, in adolescence, puberty consists of biological changes. During that change, what happens? There will be changes in hormone levels. There will be development of primary and secondary sex characteristics. Then your height, your weight, and other body changes will happen during the puberty. And these consist of biological changes. Then, not just the biological changes, but change takes place in your cognitive ability also. It includes the development of advanced cognitive faculties such as the ability to think, to make judgment, to make decisions. All these things will happen along with the biological changes. Then emotional and social changes also involved. It regulates the emotions, how you interact with your peer, etc. The fact that the term puberty encompasses a broad range of domains illustrate the multidimensionality component of the development. So we are discussing the puberty phase in your life. During that time, biological changes happen like the hormone change, your height, weight, body changes, etc. Then cognitive changes will happen, like your ability in thinking, processing, all those things, and socio-emotional changes like how you deal with your family members, how you deal with your emotion, how you deal with your friends, peers, etc. So these three things integrated to make a change in the individual. Development is multidirectional. That means the development of a particular domain does not occur in a linear fashion. It doesn't goes in one direction. It is multidirectional. That is, development is multidirectional and the change occurs in every direction. There will be gains and losses. There will be predictable growth and unexpected transformation will be there. So in different direction, the development will happen. Every aspect of the life, including the intellectual growth, social interaction, physical health, everything is multidirectional. That is, there will be ups and downs. Some changes are constant, some are irregular. So in every direction, the development happens. In late adulthood, that is during the old age time, people tend to center on the decline rather than the gain. The emphasis is here on multi-directional change. During old age, we see a decline rather than gain. And this multi-directional development is a characteristic of all complex process and it involves time. That means these change evolve over time and simultaneously changing over time. The aging process has both loss and gain. For example, physical stamina. It declines with age. You will be very healthy during young age, but as you grow old, the physical stamina may decline. But the acquired information or intelligence can increase. Then the aging of the bones, it become more fragile and it become more prone to fracture during the old age. So the development is multi-directional. Development is multidisciplinary. It means that a combination of various disciplines are necessary to understand the development of human beings. The study of lifespan and human development is multidisciplinary. It is interrelated with various fields. Psychology, biology, sociology, and education are major players. Along with that, other fields like neuroscience, anthropology, history, and economics also play a role as well. So, the development is multidisciplinary and the combination of various disciplines like the psychology, biology, or whatever we said like neuroscience, all these disciplines are important or necessary to study the development. Because the people grow in mind, body, and spirit simultaneously. That is, along with the biological development, we have cognitive development and socio-emotional development that we have seen in previous slide. So, to understand the human development, multidisciplinary approach is needed. Development is plastic. Plasticity means the human beings are capable of being molded, just like the plastic, while it can still maintain a sturdy identity. plasticity is affected by culture and upbringing and genes and other biological influences. So the people can be molded or can be changed, and this change is influenced by the culture and upbringing as well as the genes and other biological factors. Within person, modifiability is found. Plasticity varies among individuals. For example, a person A can be modified in such a way and it will be different from the person B. The person B can be modified or molded in another way. So, the plasticity or the way a person can be molded or can be changed varies among individuals. The skills and abilities can be improved or developed throughout the lifespan. A significant aspect of the aging process is cognitive decline. The cognitive function, especially the memory, it can be significantly improved in mature adult with age-related cognitive decline by using the brain plasticity-based training methods. So, as we age, there will be decline in our cognitive process, especially in the area of memory, and this memory can be improved in the old age people. How? Using the brain plasticity based training methods. So our cognitive abilities can be modified or changed. Development is contextual. That is, it is influenced by certain things like normative age graded, normative history graded, and non-normative influences. And there are also some other things that influence the development. So based on the context, some development happens. The first one is normative age graded. Here the age is considered. For example, certain biological changes happens during the puberty age. Then certain changes will happen during the menopausal age. Then some social practices that is also related to age, like going to school, that is beginning school. Then your retirement age, etc. are related to the age and it is related to the development. So in certain age period, certain things happen and it helps in the development of the individual. Then comes normative history graded. So here the focus is on history. That is the time period that a person lives. For example, a person who lived at the time of the Great Depression or at the time of World War II or under the British rule, those persons have a different experience and the environment and the culture in that time, it influenced the development of the individual who experienced the things in that time. And that is entirely different from the time we are living. So all these things, that the time which is of historical importance will have influence on the person who lived in that time. Then non-normative influence. These are unpredictable and they are unique to each individual. For example, certain milestones like you attain a master's degree, then you getting a job offer, all these things can change your life. It influence in your development. Then certain changes like a divorce or the loss of a child, etc. can also influence your development. So this comes under the non-nomative influence. It cannot be predicted. It just happens and it will affect your development. Then other contextual influence on development are cohort, socio-economic status and culture. A cohort is a group of people who are born at roughly the same time period in a particular society. They share histories and context for living. Then socioeconomic status is a way to identify families and household based on their shared level of education, income and occupation. While there is certainly individual variation, members of a social class tend to share similar lifestyle, then similar pattern of consumption, similar parenting style, then religious preferences and other aspects of daily life. Culture is often referred to as a guideline and it is shared by a group of people and it specifies how to live. It includes ideas about what is right, what is wrong, what to eat, how to speak, what is valued, etc. So, development is contextual. That is, certain context will influence your development. It can be age, it can be history related, that is the time period you live in, and some unpredictable changes, and several other influences like socioeconomic status and culture. Now let's have a quick recap on what we have learned. We have learned that development occurs across one's entire life, that is, development is lifelong. Development is multidimensional. It means it involves the dynamic interaction of factors like physical, emotional, and psychosocial development. Then development is multidirectional and result in gains and losses throughout life. Then development is multidisciplinary. Various disciplines are there to study the development of human beings. Then development is plastic. It means that characteristics of an individual can be changeable. A person can be easily shaped or molded. Then development is influenced by contextual and socio-cultural influences. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe and share. Thank you and keep smiling.